The Midland Railway considered they would attract a large number of passengers from their own station hotel, and we started construction of the Midland Grand Hotel in 1867. This daunting, daring, and hugely expensive structure crowned the railway era in thousands of tons of brick, iron, polished granite, and limestone, in caustic tiles, and with my exotic cafes, hydraulic ascending rooms, revolving doors, suites of rooms with gold leaf walls, concrete floors, a Moroccan coffee shop, and blazing fires in every room. It was grand in every way.
Who knows what liaisons were held here? Or what guests really thought of that impossibly rich Gothic decor.
Pardon me?
Oh, nothing.
With construction in a number of stages, the hotel did not open to customers until May the 5th, 1873. The completed station and hotel had used 60 million bricks and 9,000 tons of ironwork, including polished columns of 14 different British granites and limestone.
And all this before the time of ensuite bathrooms. We had an army of servants scuttling around these rooms, laden with tubs, bowls, spittoons, and chamber pots. What a place!
The process of adding fixtures and fittings was contentious, as the Midland Company were not happy at Scott's perceived extravagances, and only in late 1876 was he finally paid off. Altogether, the hotel fabric cost more than £304,000, decoration and fittings £49,000, furnishings £84,000, adding up to a not inconsiderable £437,000.
Remember the ladies' drawing room? Became known as the ladies' smoking room in the 1890s. It was the first of its kind in London. Caused quite a stir, didn't it?
But despite the best efforts of the hotel orchestra downstairs, the noise of the trains below and the proximity of soot, steam and cinders to bed linen, pyjamas and moustaches seemed uncongenial to many guests. Apparently the place prospered until after the First World War, but nothing could protect it from the demand for a flushing water closet contraption. Well, they were installed later. But by then people were already going elsewhere. It closed in 1935.
Renamed St Pancras Chambers, the building became railway offices. It survived being heavily bombed in the First World War and in the Blitz. Threatened with demolition in the 1960s, St Pancras was saved largely due to the efforts of Sir John Betjeman and the Victorian Society. Its neighbour to the west, however, was less fortunate. At least this incredible building was saved from being swept away, and was awarded Grade 1 listed status in recognition of its importance as an example of high Victorian Gothic architecture. In the 1980s, the building failed its fire certificate and was closed down, remaining empty ever since. In the 1990s, British Rail and English Heritage spent millions of pounds cleaning the hotel and making it safe. Small groups of enthusiasts have taken tours, marvelling at the evidence of Scott's original vision.
So, the rebirth of St Pancras as an international rail link, eh?
A vivid imagination is needed to visualise an international gateway for train travellers. I think I ought to go and find whoever's in charge. He'll probably need a few pointers. Excuse me. Hello?
Wait on, old chap! Steady on!
These modern navvies in those interestingly hard hats should be using the utmost care with those monster-engined contraptions. I'll want to make sure they understand what they're dealing with. St Pancras is a national treasure, you know, Barlow.
The transparent extension, more than double the existing length, is needed to cater for the 400-metre-long Eurostar trains. The station's 500 million revamp will see its 6 platforms increased to 13. They reckon on similar passenger capacity to Heathrow's Terminal 4. The vast space beneath the station will be uncovered to create customs and immigration control, plus a thoroughfare lined with shops and cafes, while the old building's Victorian splendour will be preserved.
Good.
There will also be new entrances and ticket halls, new passenger interchanges to the tube, and below ground, a station for Thameslink services.
That sounds structural. You'll need my expertise for this, Scott.
Well, maybe we should give this Lensley chap a chance. Although there's probably no harm in checking out the foreman.
And St Pancras Chambers will be restored as a hotel with private apartments.
So the building's heritage will be preserved.
You know, Dirk Bogarde stood on the steps of our station in that film, The Servant. Oh, and those spicy girls. They were caught clambering all over your grand staircase.
Were they? Were they really?